Hello and welcome to Sestra-Tainment.
Sestra-Tainment.
I'm Lenora.
And I'm Dee.
And we're coming to you today in regards to everything entertainment.
Everything entertainment.
Yes, we are. And so, sis, it's your turn to go first.
Yes.
So what you got?
All right. So I want to talk about, everybody's been talking about it, The Gray Man that's on Netflix.
Oh, I did hear about that. But I haven't watched it.
So it has Ryan Gosling, Chris Evans, Billy Bob Thornton, Alfred Woodard, what's his name? Regé Jean.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever.
Regé Jean something. Yeah, the
Regé
guy from
Jean
Bridgerton.
Page. Yeah.
The love interest from Bridgerton.
Yeah. And then also, I can't think of that other girl's name. God, I'm gonna have to look it up really quick. But she's a really good actress. I've seen her on a couple of different things before myself. But she's really good in it. I don't think she's ever done anything with like action, or maybe she has. I don't know. But her name is Ana de Armas. Yeah,
okay.
You've seen her in a couple of things before. She does really good. So just to give you a little information about it. So what it is Ryan start that over again.
Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling. He plays a man, and they call him Six in the show.
Okay.
Well, in the movie. He was in prison,
Okay.
and then this guy just comes and just like, "Hey, you want to get out of prison early? Come work for the CIA."
Okay.
And he's just like, "Is this a trap? Is this a joke?"
Yeah, like what's this about?
He's like, "No." He's like, "You'll be working for the CIA, but not officially."
Okay.
So he just goes by a number. That's it. Nobody knows his name. He only has one handler who actually knows, like, the stuff about him, all the information about him, and that is played by Billy Bob Thornton. Yeah.
Okay.
So what ends up happening is that him being like this secret agent for a secret agency, which is weird.
Secret agent man. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, but he ends up having to do this task of taking out people. All he does is he's just a murderer for the CIA. That's what he does.
Give me an assignment.
Yeah.
I fulfill the assignment.
It's kind of like James Bond, Mission Impossible had a baby.
Oh, okay.
With a lot of death.
A lot of death and
A lot of
destruction.
death. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, a lot of destruction. So, basically what happens is he goes and he's trying to do this where he's going to kill this man. He got a sniper rifle and everything. He's watching. He got the earpiece while he's talking to the other lady. And then he's also talking to, Regine, which, his name is, I think it's Carmichael was his name in the show. So
Does he
Carmichael,
have an accent on this show?
No.
Oh, okay. I was thinking that he probably wouldn't.
But so Carmichael's just like, all right, take the shot. And Gosling is just sitting there, Six is sitting there, and he's just like, I see a kid. Like, he sees the kid, and he's like, sorry, gun jammed. And then you hear him, like, shuffling through his gun. And they were like, your gun didn't jam. Like, you're pretending. You're trying to take your time. You don't want to do it.
So is he supposed to kill the kid?
He was supposed to kill the guy, but he didn't want to kill the guy in front of his kid.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So then what happens from there, it's a whole little situation. This is like within the first few minutes of the movie too. And that's what gets you hooked. It's because like the action that happens immediately. So and then once he does actually go and try to kill this guy, he doesn't shoot him. He just runs in. Like he like pulls a fire alarm or something like that. People are starting to leave and he runs up behind them, starts taking out his security. Like, I guess the CIA trains you how to be like a bodyguard / murderer / because like
I guess.
the stuff that he was doing, that's what I said, it's like James Bond. Just run up behind you, twist your neck, you fall.
Yeah, you
and
die. Grab your gun and da-da-da-da-da, kick you in the throat.
Yeah. All this perfect stuff. But then when he gets to the guy that he has to kill, he goes to kill him, and the guy's like, hey, wait, I know you. You're 6. He said, I'm 4. He said, we are the same people. He said, I've been doing the same thing.
He just started earlier.
Yeah. So as he's going to kill the guy hands him something, and it's like I think it's like a drive or something like that. He hands him it, and he was just like, this has everything that you need. Here's what happens. Carmichael can hear. Carmichael can see. So he's just like, so what just happened? What did he give you? He's just like, I don't know what you're talking about. Anybody give me nothing? I don't know. So that's when it goes to, now we have to kill 6. So Carmichael gets Chris Evans, who is Lloyd Hansen. That's his character's name. He gets him, who, this guy is nuts. Chris Evans is extremely nuts in the show.
Oh, so he's done a good job acting.
He did a great job because like he's never been a villain or anything, I don't think. So this is him being like a villain for the military. And well, I don't know, is he in the military? I think he might be in the military. But he's just like a villain for the whole country.
Right.
But it's for the country, not against the country. So he's like a villain and a good guy at the same time, because he's supposed to be a good guy because he's working for the United States government. But then actually he's a bad guy because now there's this one scene where they're going to get him, and 6 is in a big square where there are people everywhere. And he's just like, kill them, shoot them all. I don't care. Get them, get them.
Just get
We
them
want
all.
them dead. Yeah, they're like people are running around. They got these. They got like a missile launcher like coming through. It's so crazy, but the action is so good. It's so much, and
it's a movie or a TV show?
It's a movie. It's a movie.
Okay,
yeah.
a movie.
It's a movie. But then from there, it's just the action just keeps you hooked, and then you're just like, oh my god, what's happening with this storyline? And then you're like following it, and then it's really deep, and I really like it. Alfre Woodard, she has a small part in it, but she does really good in her small part.
Okay.
Billy Bob Thornton, he's in it, but he's not like the main character in it. It's just mainly following Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans on how they're just trying to like kill each other, I guess.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's a lot of action. It's an action pack.
It sounds like
women are going to want to watch it because the guys are in it.
I was going to say, it has some eye candy in it, and then men are going to want to watch it for the action.
Yeah, for the action.
Yeah. Sounds like one that you could also watch, like how I have the projector.
Like
On the projector
surround
because
sound.
It's so much going on. Yeah, that it would be good so that you can see it all and not miss anything. It doesn't sound like it's a cell phone watch kind of movie.
Yeah,
or
because
TV or projector, or if it were in a movie theater,
even
which
a computer
never
or something
was,
like that.
right?
No, it went straight to Netflix. Oh, wait. No, I think it might have been in Netflix and in theaters, actually.
Oh,
I think that's what they did.
Maybe so. Yeah, sometimes they're doing that. They kind of are doing both and letting it ride.
Which I'm like, how does that make sense? But I guess some people might watch it and be like, yo, this would be great in the theaters.
And then they go to the theater, too. Yeah, good point.
But no, it's really good. Check it out. It's called The Gray Man, and it is on Netflix.
Okay, got it. The Flickies.
Yeah, so what do you have?
I delved into the world of VR.
VR?
Yes, the virtual reality, because I was looking at the Today Show because I'm old, and they had it's like morning routine looking at the Today Show, and they had where they put Henry Smith, I think is his name, as one of the anchors on there. He's over 60 years old, and they put him in this VR world, right? They gave him the glasses,
I feel like that would just mess with his equilibrium.
No, he was fine. He's in there, but he sounded like somebody's grumpy grandpa. You know, he was just like, "What is this? Why don't we have legs?" Like, because the one that they were in, it was just like top of your body.
So then you
could go
can,
into
like,
different places.
People,
You could walk up. You could hug people. You could do whatever, and all this. And he was like, "I just don't understand. What is this? What? Huh? Who? Where?"
Yeah.
So anyway, it was hysterical. First of all, to watch.
It was probably somebody who was just like, yo, you know who'd be great on this?
Yes, because they had a young girl who did it in another episode with Craig Melvin. So she and Craig were in there, and he was like, "Oh, okay, I get it." Yeah, and he said it does feel weird, and after a while, it starts feeling a little bit normal, whatever. And then, but no, Henry won't have it. He was like, "Look, this is ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense. It's stupid." Like, he was just like,
yeah, he does sound like somebody's grandpa.
Understand. Finally, they went to a Foo Fighters concert. And believe it or not, that's where he was excited, because he was like, it was the real Foo Fighters, not even virtual.
Yeah, but it
was like you were at a real concert. And that's finally when you saw him bobbing his head and acting like he was having a good time. And I guess he knew some Foo Fighter songs. I don't know. But anyway, so he was like, other than that, it was stupid. Like, the whole thing. It's just ridiculous. And why do you not want to engage and interact and all that? So anyway, long story short, after looking at that, I'm flipping through the TV, looking for different things. Okay. And lo and behold, I stumbled upon something called We Met in Virtual Reality on HBO.
No. Mm-mm.
Did you watch it?
No, but I already don't like it. I already don't like it.
So it was released in 2022, and basically it is a film. It was like, I don't know, a little over an hour, maybe an hour and 20 minutes, something like that. I didn't even really pay attention, but I was fascinated. So anyway, because it is not something that I would probably do. I am a people person. I like being in front of people and engaging with people and talking to people in
But now
person.
There's so much going on. You get the pox, you get the
virus,
COVID, you get the vid.
You can get regular
too much.
flu.
So, yeah,
you can get anything. So yeah. So anyway, so this one was basically filmed completely inside the virtual world. So I thought it was going to start off with, let's show you what it's like to have an avatar and, how to build one and that. And then talk to people who are the creators or the people who are the actual avatars that you're looking at. No.
Is it was it a show?
It's a movie that is
It's like a documentary?
A documentary based on, so you just start watching and you're in the virtual world. You don't have any clue of what's going on. And then they're like, there's a car and you see all these people pile into the car and you see somebody trying to learn how to drive a virtual car. And you have people on, in a pickup or whatever. So you have people who are on the back. You have people who are sitting on top of each other. It looks like who wants to ride? And all these people pile into the car. Okay, do you want to take over driving? All these people are talking to each other, not near each other, in this virtual car, riding, going up hills, passing cops, doing whatever. Huh?
This was like a movie. Surrogates.
I don't. Well, I mean,
Willis
but that's
movie.
but the difference is that in you only interacted with people through the virtual world. This is where people are just choosing to interact with people in the virtual world. So anyway, so they start off with that. And then you're just seeing them and you can hear them. And I'm just like, wait, when does the story actually start? Because it just shows you inside the virtual world. What do people look like? It could be anything. It's like
so you can be a unicorn.
Okay, let me tell you, because I actually took notes on this. Some people were dogs, cats, half human, half animal. Like somebody had a long tail and looked like a fox or something like that. Right, and then you could have a regular human face or you could have an animal face and you could just be whoever. One person was a hot dog in a bun. That's them walking around. That's who they wanted to be. That was their spirit animal, I guess. Okay. And then you have other people. So it was funny because they just showed the hot dog and bun with somebody like a fox and then these two people who almost looked like they looked exactly alike. I don't know what they were, some kind of animal. I can't remember. Okay. Anyway, there's all these animals with a hot dog and a bun. So basically they're all just talking so we really enjoy being in this virtual environment. You can be whoever you want to be. You can look like whoever you want to look like because, it's your expression. It's who you are. And so if you want to be a skunk or whatever, then that's kind of who you can be. You can come up with your name and you could just be whoever. So I was like, okay. So anyway, keep watching. This part I did like. So this part, one of the parts that they had, it was a school you could go to. Okay. And so people would show up for this online class, so to speak, or whatever, and you had an instructor who was at the front who was an actual person. I've seen that. Then she would actually teach you sign language. Yeah, I did so she was actually going through and helping people to understand sign language, and she was showing different things. And then they cut to a girl who's sitting with a friend, and they're outside, and she doesn't say anything. She just signs everything. So anyway, so this girl was telling her story, and she was deaf, and she was explaining, her life, and her brother had died, and all these different things that had happened. She felt alone. She felt whatever. And this world helped her to feel more included. Oh, okay. And so therefore, she was making friends, and even though people might look at it weird to say that you're only making fake friends or virtual friends, but she feels like this is really her community and her people. And so she went to go light, those big lanterns that you can light. Went to this virtual spot where all these lanterns were in the sky. And she went and lit a lantern and she, was saying something for her brother or to her brother or whatever. And then she lit the lantern and the lantern went up and the other girl was translating what she was saying and feeling and all of that. And I was like, oh, see that kind of stuff. I kind of get when you just feel like, well, maybe I can't communicate like other people and they don't understand. Or maybe I am an introvert to the nth degree, a recluse. I don't like engaging with people, but I can engage in this different way. Yeah, I got you. Now, I saw a virtual proposal and wedding. I'm serious. It was a virtual proposal with a virtual wedding. And so what happened is all their friends were around, I guess invited to this virtual event. Right. And he got on his knee. You could see him get on his knee. Again, I don't know how this stuff works, but he got on his knee. He proposed. She was excited. She ended up accepting, of course, and then she had to find a dress. So then she goes to a virtual bridal shop. And she actually finds a person who actually makes her dress. Like, this is somebody who in that world is a designer. So they'll design your outfit, they'll design your avatar. Yeah, I think so, in real money. Yeah. Yeah. And so this person does all of those kind of things. So she was like, oh my God, I'm so glad I found you for you to make my dress. You made my normal filter or virtual avatar, and you're making this beautiful dress. She changed her whole, she said, go change. So you see this avatar leave and come back, and it's in this beautiful white gown, beautiful.
So it's a bunch of people playing pretend. I love it. Make believe. I love it.
So then they come out. Her eyes are blue now. Her hair is a different style. She has a veil on, the dress, everything.
So she changed her avatar. Okay.
She changed it to be like, how do you like this look for your wedding day? Okay. And she was like, oh my gosh, she's going to be so thrilled to see me. This is like something different. And I've always wanted blue eyes and blah, blah, blah. So then you see them walk down the aisle. You see him standing at the aisle. He has a long tail and like he's a dragon or something like that. I don't know. So they get married. And they get married. And I don't think it's a real marriage, but they have met IRL in real life before. Okay. So even though people do this, they say sometimes you meet people in real life and it's weird and it's awkward and it doesn't feel right. Yeah. And then sometimes you just...
That's how I feel like online dating.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I don't know. I never really did too much of it. But anyway, so I'm watching this and I'm just like... I was like deer in the headlights. I just could not stop watching. I'm going to have to watch this now. I was fascinated. And so, but it was things like celebrating birthdays and they're like, oh my God, thank you so much for the surprise party.
Is there a certain device that you have to buy? Like, is there a certain company that you can only do if you have this company you have to do it, or is it like probably like a game like app that you have to download?
I think it is, because like I feel like this
can Terry do it with his Oculus?
Could be based on device. They never really spoke to that because you're really so in the world watching it. Yeah. So so they didn't really speak to that, but they did say in this, I forgot what it was called, but anyway, they called it something. I'm trying to see in my notes if I put down what it was, but I don't think I did. But they basically are like, oh, in this world, VR tech or something. Yeah. Let's just say it's called that. In VR tech, we can do this, and in VR tech, we can do that kind of thing. So I think that even if you have a different device, maybe you just download a particular
that's what I was thinking. So like an app or something. Like that.
I'm not sure.
So I mean, Facebook has it now where they with their metaverse that if you go into a subway on the in the metaverse, you can actually get Subway delivered to your house.
Oh,
for real.
I mean, in that metaverse, in the metaverse, you actually you can buy Nikes. Yeah. You can buy a house. Yeah. You can buy, but it's like a virtual house that you're buying with real money, or you're buying virtual Nikes for your actual virtual feet. Yeah. Or Snoop Dogg is actually in there doing things virtually. It's like this whole other world that
you're in the wrong business.
Well, I mean, number one, I'm not somebody who, again, I'm a people person. So this. Oh no!
I mean, like we're in the wrong business. We should have opened up a store in the metaverse and then just had people buy stuff from us.
Yeah, or we could do the podcast in the metaverse and have people watching us do the podcast in the metaverse versus seeing us do it. Yeah,
and we can everybody can see us. We can talk to people.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we're not even doing it on YouTube or anything. So we're probably really behind the ball.
Probably, we need to find a young person to do it. We should have got Kaylee to do it when she was here.
Yeah, true that. Facts. We'll so, so anyway, it just really blew my mind to watch something that was so different than the world I live in, And so, because if it weren't for me seeing that clip on the Today Show, I probably wouldn't have even thought to click on it when I saw it on HBO Max. So I was like, I don't know. But anyway, then when I saw it, I was like, well, let me look at this. It's not that long. Let me just look and see what this meta stuff is all about. And then when it started, I was like, wait, they didn't explain a thing.
Yeah, exactly.
They just went straight into a whole bunch of cartoon characters, doing a whole bunch of things. And I'm like, what's happening? But I've seen, they even showed them doing, New Year's Eve. And all these people, instead of being out in the real world doing something for New Year's Eve. Now, mind you, COVID. So they probably wouldn't have COVID anyway. They did address the fact that helped people to feel more like they wanted to be in an online community.
Yeah, I could see that. I would pay to, see Jill Scott concert through the the virtual reality, and then because then it would be like you're there with a whole bunch of other virtual reality people.
Yeah, you're healthy, you're safe.
Yeah,
you don't have to deal with the crowds or the parking.
And then
you got to see the show.
And then it could be like you're like front and center.
Yeah.
And then all it is just her doing her concert, and maybe she'll look at you a couple of times, but everybody's going to get that same vision of her looking at you.
Maybe so. Yeah. So anyway, it's just kind of interesting. Or is it that you have your virtual seat, so therefore wherever you're virtually
that's
sitting,
true. Wherever you actually paid the ticket for,
right? But somebody else sitting from the left might see a different view than what you see from the right. And is it that Jill Scott at that moment is filming it for you, or is it that this is just a recording of something?
Yeah, it's just a recording of
Yeah. So that's the kind of thing. I don't know.
But that's kind of I would do that. I would only do that for like concerts or something like that, where it's a bunch of people, like a jazz festival. I would do it for something like that.
Yeah. Where you can just see a bunch of different acts or, folks. Yeah. But yeah, so anyway, I just was kind of entertained by watching it. It was different. Now, I can't say that I recommend it for people to watch because, it depends on if that sounds of interest to you. And there were a couple of times where I was like, you know what? I think I'm just going to cut this off because this is a little weird.
And it was
and then you would see like virtual, like not even kind of a makeout session, I guess, virtual. It was just weird kind of stuff in there too. Yeah. You know what I mean? But at the same, and I guess it's like virtual kissing. Maybe that's a better way of saying it because they were just like, so in love with each other and stuff. And I'm like, but have y'all seen each other in person? Like, and is this really who you think? Because like for the marriage, for example,
how do you know it's not two men?
Is like, it's your boy with a BOI at the end. But it sounded like a girl. Yeah. And it sounded, she was very excited to get her wedding dress and all that. And then you have this man who's on the other side and he was dressed like a dragon with like a wolf's face or something, I don't know, or wolf ears, I guess. And then he had the tail and stuff. So you're just like, okay, all these different things are coming into play. Who are you?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Who am I talking to? What do you even look like? Or do you just fall in love with the person? Do you fall in love with the personality and the person and the looks? Like love at first sight shouldn't be as important.
Yeah, but it might be it might be important when like you think that you're talking to someone who's like, I don't know, you think that they're cute and petite, and then they're like, what's eating Gilbert Grape's mom?
Oh, I never
stuck in the house.
Yeah, exactly. So that may be one of my next topics. So anyway, moving on. But that is what I have. So again, it is called We Met in Virtual Reality on HBO Max.
All right, I'm gonna have to check that.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
If you do,
maybe
great.
I'll flip through it. I'll fast forward.
Yeah, you can fast forward through it. Yeah, just like as you see a story. They had a strip club in there too. So anyway, so it's like
so you can throw your money while you see half of a person swinging on a pole.
No, these were whole people. These
whole people. Oh, so
these
it's like Sims.
And everything.
It's like Sims.
Yep, and they would be like, I was like, how are you at home hopping on a pole and it's seeing that? Like, how are you twerking at home and it's capturing that? Or like the girl before she got proposed to, she was actually giving her man a lap dance or whatever. And I'm like, how are you doing that virtually? I'm not understanding unless there's something on your computer or something.
What if they have a doll? What if they have a doll that they use?
I don't want to talk anymore about dolls after American Horror Story. So
that's very true.
All right, I'm gonna leave it to you now. What's next?
All right, my next one is A League of Their Own.
Oh,
okay, it's a show that's out.
TV show.
It is. It's a TV show that is like basically based off of the 1992 A League of Their Own that had Tom Hanks, Gina Davis,
everybody,
Lori Petty, Madonna, Rosie O'Donnell, everybody. But the difference is, it's not the movie. It's not like you don't have a Dottie, you don't have a Kit, you don't have none of that. So so you don't have any of that. So, but you do have different things in the TV show that like pay homage to the movie. Okay. Like when they throw the baseball, who is it? Rosie O'Donnell throws the baseball at Gina Davis. She catches it with her bare hand. Well, that happens to one of the ladies on.
Oh, okay. So they're like little clips.
Yeah, little they got the song, the members of the All American League. They got the song in there. There's a couple of things like the guy's catcalling that's in there. What they don't have is like throwing the baseball at the guy who's catcalling in the movie.
There's no crying in baseball.
They say that in the movie too.
They say it in the show. Okay.
She's like, "Are you crying?" There's no crying in baseball, but she didn't say it the same way. But I mean, But no, there's a lot of the same things that happen, like in the movie. I mean, from the movie into the TV show, but it's not the same by any means. These are two different things. I wish they would have did it like a different team.
Okay.
Instead of the Rockford Peaches. That would have been awesome.
Yeah, that's true, because we already know the story of the Rockford Peaches. Yeah,
exactly.
So
and then it's like weird.
Story.
So it's like, hold on, how are they putting together another? Like, I've already seen the League of Their Own. They're putting together a whole another team. And this is the same thing, like, and all the guys are going back to World War II again. So that's what I was like, if they would have made it a different team.
But they played against different teams, so why couldn't it have been against one of their competition?
That's what I was saying. I wish it would have. Yeah, I wish it would have been something like that.
Like, this was on the other side of what was happening with the Peaches.
They got the same uniforms and stuff like that. Okay. And it is a good show. Now there is a lady who I want to say she's like 100 years old or something like that. Oh, wow. I can't remember what her name was, but I should have looked it up earlier. Excuse me. But she actually, once they had the premiere for the show, whoo, something in my throat. Sorry. Once they had the premiere for the show, they actually had this lady come and like talk, and this lady said she's been in the closet her whole entire life for like 99 years.
Oh my God.
And while they were doing like a little press conference, she came out the closet.
You know, I think I did hear about that.
Yeah. And you see her, she got a little hair all poofed up. She had like these nice like Oakley sunglasses on and everything. You could barely see her face. Yeah, a little tiny lady. I mean, and she gets around good, you know. But she was saying that that's how it was.
Yeah.
When they were playing baseball. She said it was a lot of gay women and a couple of ladies who were not. But she was like, there was a lot of sexual tension and stuff like that happened. So she was like, I'm glad that the movie actually, the TV show actually puts it out there. Okay. As where the movie did not.
Yes.
Yeah, but I mean, 92, nobody was talking about lesbians back then.
And I think that, weren't you the one who sent me that clip with Rosie O'Donnell talking about that?
Yeah, exactly. And
that then Penny Marshall didn't really want to go down a lesbian path.
Yeah, exactly.
She was just very anti that, which was interesting because somebody said, wait, Penny Marshall wasn't a lesbian? Because you kind of maybe could have assumed that she might have been. I don't know.
She's just a tomboy.
They said she was just very against
it. But I mean, it could have been because if you have something like that, my movie's not going to sell. Because back then, 92, nobody was like.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, Ellen got roasted.
Yeah, and then when was that? Like 98?
It was later in the 90s.
Yeah.
And it was a big deal.
Yeah, it was a really big deal.
I mean, a magazine, I'm gay.
Yeah, it was like, yep,
really?
I'm gay.
That,
we really have to do that? Yeah.
Is that required?
But I would say that when I first watched it, and I was just like, wait, this is nothing like A League of Their Own. I told you, I was like, they should have just called it like A League of Lesbians. Because that's all the entire show is. It's a whole bunch of women sleeping with each other, sleeping with other people on different teams, so like that. Rosie O'Donnell does make a guest appearance in it.
I heard that.
She does make a guest appearance. Yeah. She is not anybody from the original League of Own.
Okay, she's just a totally different person.
Yeah, she's a bar owner.
I was going to say, did I see her in like a suit?
Yeah. Okay. She's a bar owner.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like her and her wife in there. But yeah, the show is really good. I just had to get out of the
League of Their Own.
Yes, I had to stop thinking of the movie.
Yeah, that's the tough part. Like, they should have just came up with another name for it.
Yeah, why didn't they do Racine? Racine was the other team.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Because that's where Kit ended up going to.
Yeah,
that's true.
I think that's true. Yeah, they could have called it something different to not have you so focused on the original that you don't appreciate this version.
And
but some people could look at the this version and be like, oh no, I hated it.
Yeah. Oh no, when I first watched it, I was like, this is not A League of Their Own.
Right.
I don't like it. And then the more I watched it, I was just like, okay, I get it. Yeah. But then what I do like is how they have the point of view of different things that was going on for Black and white women. So, like, there is a scene where this girl, she shows up for practice, and they're just like, yeah, this is not where you're supposed to be. Like, you need to go on home now, girl. Like, something like that. She's just like, well, I'm here to try out. And then, I don't know if you remember in A League of Their Own, the movie, there was the black lady who was out in the outfield. and she threw the ball all the way to like home plate, and then the girl caught the ball, and then she took her hand out the glove and was like, God, it hurt from that and far. From that far, and then the lady just shows her face and walks away, and the girl does the same thing in this movie. I mean, in the show, yes. So just to give you some information about who the people are, Abby Jacobson plays Carson Shaw. She is the main character, basically. She is the Gina Davis of the show. Okay. Got it. She can hit the ball. She's really good. She's catcher, hit the ball, married, husband in the military. That's the same. Okay. The only thing is she's a lesbian. So that's different.
Wait, she's married with a husband and kids.
Yeah, because
a lesbian.
Yeah.
I was just making sure I heard that right.
Back in the early 1900s, back in those early 1900s, yeah. That's how you do. And then you have Shantae Adams, who plays Max Chapman, and she is the African American woman who's going through all that. She wants to play on this baseball team with all men, and she ends up going and get a job at a factory after she already has a job working with her mother at a salon just so she can be on their baseball team. And then they're like, no, you can't be on the team. She's like, well, you said anybody who works here can be on the team.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You have Darcy Carden, which apparently every lesbian has fallen in love with her because she's like the Madonna of the show. Okay. She's very promiscuous. And she's Greta Gill. She's actually a love interest for somebody on the team as well. Okay. I wouldn't give that away. You have what they did do, which I did like, was that Shantae Adams, she has a friend who is like her best friend in the show, and she kills it as being her best friend because she's supportive of her, but then she's a girl who writes comic books. And she's like Max is just like, you are so weird, and I love it. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of I'm pretty sure it's the different actresses that you might have seen on here before. A lot of them you probably have seen, but you don't like. Yeah. A lot of them have been on stuff that probably like B-list, C-list stuff, a couple of A-list things. But I will say this. Abby Jacobson, who actually, I think she wrote and directed it or whatever, she did really good with it.
Okay. How many episodes is it?
It is, oh man, how many episodes was it? 10?
Okay. I feel like a lot of shows now are about 8 to 10.
It was 8.
Okay.
8 episodes, and they're an hour each.
Okay.
Yeah. But I do like it, but I just had to get the original out of my head. That's what it was. Because, like, I'm looking at stuff, like, I'm like, all right, so, like, who's doing this? Like, who's going to be the Lady Shirley?
Right,
you know, exactly. The lady who's just like, I married a doctor. You know, like, who's going to be that lady? But then there's like,
it's
so
I'm just, the same thing.
It's not the same. So I just kept trying to compare, and I just had to stop.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think if it was Racine, then it would have been a much
I feel like,
more, like, A League of Their Own, semicolon, Racine. Or something like that, or colon, whatever, but like something to make it feel like, oh, I'm seeing another side.
Or even the pennant, the little pennant in the back being like Racine on it or something like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's still cool. But the thing is that is this even for the older generation? Is this for the younger generation? Like, because some of the younger generations, I don't know if they've seen the movie.
Yeah, but it might push them to go back and watch it.
Yeah. And I mean, and the original is amazing.
Yeah, the original is awesome.
But so what they do in the TV show is that they put more things that are actually happening in that time period on the show.
Okay.
So, like, you slowly see, like, they start off with, people being drafted. And then you slowly see how this place is like a big welding place. It's like the Rosie the Riveter kind of looks where all these ladies are welding stuff. And then they have their bandanas on. Bandanas, big in the show for that. But you start to see how it goes from, like, all of these guys and one woman.
Right.
To now it's like, where are the men?
Yeah, where are the men at? Right.
It's like all old guys, and it's just all these
everybody
like
who's
these
not
women
draftable.
Yeah.
So. Interesting.
Yeah, but no, it's really good. They do.
But it's probably the difference too between the movie. You mainly had the baseball field, like it was mainly all on the baseball field with some stories outside of that. Of course, exactly. But it was all about the baseball. Yeah. Where here it's all about the storyline. Yeah. And there's little baseball here and there.
I mean, yeah, it's some games here and there. But I was like, man, I'm on the 3rd episode, and I ain't seen a game yet.
Like, where is the baseball?
Where is this league at? Yeah. But it is, how do I explain this? It is definitely good for how they put it together, not making it a spin-off from the movie. Actually just making it its own entity. And the big things about, like, they have in there where nobody really pays attention to this part where it's like the lesbians couldn't go to certain bars, so they had like little speakeasy lesbian bars. And how the cops would run in there and then they would beat these gay people up.
That's terrible.
They would beat them to a pulp and then put their name in the paper.
What?
Printed their name in the paper after they arrested them because they said it's for the safety of others. Yeah. Okay. Which AKA means so you'll be able to get these people.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So you'll know who, quote unquote, these people are. Yeah.
And then how they still have the chaperone, they still have, everything. Okay. I like it. I don't know. I like it. It took me a while to get to where I liked it and how I was really gonna take it because I'm thinking the original. I'm thinking Gina Davis.
Yeah,
Tom
the
Hanks,
original. Right.
But it's nothing like that. Mm-hmm. But apparently it's more historical and more accurate.
Got it.
Yeah, it's not something that's just, a movie about baseball.
And nowadays you almost have to be more accurate because people aren't letting things slide like they used to before. Yeah. Now it's every single thing is being scrutinized. So, all right, awesome.
So Eric Chila checked it out. League of Their Own. It is on Amazon Prime. Check the original out too. Yeah, it's on Amazon Prime.
All of them are on Amazon Prime.
All the Primes. All right, so what's your next one?
I actually got into a few more than a couple of episodes over the past week or so of my 600-pound life.
Oh, okay.
And I think it was one of those things that I'm like, okay, I've got to make a change. I got to lose some weight before my birthday in October. I got to get
watching that
mentally into the right place. So I think weight loss in itself was on my mind. Not saying specifically looking at them, but just like weight loss was on my mind. So I was like, okay. So as I'm flipping through my Sling TV, because I have a Sling, account, and I'm going through and TLC, it'll tell you on there, it'll say, this is what's on right now. Yeah. So one day I watched Say Yes to the Dress UK. Yeah. Didn't even know that was a thing, that there was a Yes to the Dress UK. So anyway, I watched a couple episodes of that, and then I was like, all right, let me figure out something else. And then all of a sudden it was my 600-pound life. And so the storyline is basically that these are people who are probably between 500, 600, 700 pounds, and they need to get to the doctor to get gastric bypass surgery. So, I mean, that's kind of what they are trying to do. So the doctor is Dr. Nazarian.
Oh, that's the main guy. He's just like, you're fat, you gotta lose weight.
I mean, but the thing that I realized about him, because you're right, it's kind of like you just feel like he is so
But he's just telling you what it is.
Right? And just like direct. Yeah. But at the same time, the enabling that goes on from all the people around in their lives. Yeah, that's true. Because you have to think, this person cannot get around typically. Yeah. Some people are better than others. Like one guy, when I watched his episode, he's able to get out the house, he's able to drive his car, he's able to go wherever. He was still over 600 pounds, but he just, was able to interact and engage. So he was like, look, I got to do something. I got to, prolong my life. I'm too young to be this, heavy. So I got to do something. The crazy thing, almost every episode, they show these people in the shower. I don't know what that's about and why they try to fetish. It's like they try to make it like a fetish. I don't know what it is.
Maybe it's just...
They literally show them in the shower. They don't even block out anything because half the time people are so big, there's nothing that you can see.
But I guess it's just so you can see what they look like without clothes on?
Yeah, but I don't know if I would. I mean, I'm nowhere near 600 pounds. I wouldn't want anybody taking video and pictures and stuff with me. You know, I mean, for women they will, but most of the episodes they might watched were men. Yeah. But yeah, so I'm just like, this is very weird. Like, it made me feel uncomfortable. That's all I'm saying. And it wasn't because they were big. It was just because, why are we taking a video with people in a shower? Like, this doesn't make any sense to me. But anyway.
This is not the gym.
So, yeah. So then, you know, this one guy, his story, he goes and he's sitting down. Now, mind you, his wife, very thin.
Yeah.
Healthy, you know, all of that. So, you know, the doctor, he's like, hey, you know, what are you doing when you're at home? Like, how are you getting these, you know, foods that aren't good for you and stuff? And he's like, sometimes I go out and get them because he can, you know, so he'll run out. His wife could be at work, whatever. He's running out, going to McDonald's, getting 5 meals or 3 meals or whatever, you know, like he's just doing things on his own. And then he's like, so what are you trying to do for him? And the wife admitted at first, she was like, look, I'm not doing the best stuff for him. It's like I'm bringing him what he wants. Yeah. So then he said, look, you have to lose 40 pounds in the next 2 months. With your size, you should be able to do that pretty easily. Here's your diet plan. Here's what you're supposed to be eating. His wife tried. I mean, you could see she was doing everything that she could do. She's giving him good food. She's giving him, you know, like making her plate, making his plate. It's a good portion size, you know, the whole 9 yards. He goes back and he's lost like 2 pounds after 2 months. So then the doctor, going into being very direct, is like, you're not following the plan. Yeah, you aren't following the diet. What happened, right? And he's like, well, he said, did you read the materials I gave you? Well, my wife read them. Okay, this ain't about your wife. This is about you. Did you read the materials? Well, no, I haven't really. Like, you can't say you don't have the time. What else are you doing?
Because you ain't going nowhere.
No, I mean, you can. He is at least one person who could go somewhere, but he's really not, you know.
He's on disability? Like,
probably,
he's not working or anything?
They didn't go into that I can think of, but he's home most of the day. Yeah. But then, you know, he was asking her, and she was like, I don't know. I'm trying everything that I can do. I'm trying to bring healthier things into the house, you know, the whole 9 yards. So then the doctor gives him another chance and is like, okay, go again, home 2 months. No, I think he might have even told him, maybe he told him 2 again. Yeah, 2 months again. And then when you come back, we'll see what's going on. Okay. He's up above what he was supposed to be when he, you know, started or something like that. Like, he didn't lose anything. So then it's like he's up 2 pounds, something crazy. So then he's like, wait a minute. You're supposed to, it's been 4 months and you haven't lost a thing? Like, what is going on? So, and the guy is a man of faith. So he's always talking about how he wants to do right by the parishioners of the church and, you know, all of this stuff. And it's like, to me,
but you're sinning every day because gluttony is a sin.
Well, but to me also, it's kind of like, okay, you're saying that you want to do this and show people that, you know, you have to have faith. Yeah. Well, what faith do you have if you're just not following a process that's here to save your life? You know what I mean? Yeah. And so anyway, long story short,
he's hurt himself and the people around him.
Yeah. By the time he gets to where the doctor is like, look, next time you show up, if you're not doing what you need to do, I can't help you. Like, I am not going to risk your life by putting you in a gastric bypass surgery when you are not doing what you need to do on your end. And so he shows up, and if this man ain't like 17 pounds over, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And his wife ain't even show up with him.
Oh, she probably was like...
No, she wasn't done with him. But
no, I'm probably like, she was just like, I know you didn't do it, so I'm not even going to go.
She probably did. But yeah, he said that because she was from Africa, she had to do some immigration paperwork or something like that, so she wasn't going to be able to, you know, be with him for this visit. Because the doctor came in and said, oh, your wife ain't even show up with you this time, huh? Like, she knew how bad you were. Yeah. And so, but he'll just do his little sidebar conversations with the camera and just say, look, you know, I'm giving them the plan. I'm doing everything that they need to do, but they need to want it for themselves. So he's like, I can't keep continuing to give people chances and have them come here, and it's never going to happen. Yeah. And so basically, you know, it's in this person's court as to if they're going to follow the processes that are there. In my opinion, right, how bad do you want it? And how bad do you want it for yourself?
Exactly.
But he even had the guy go to a therapist. Everything, because he's like, there's something that's blocking you from wanting this. Like, what is it that if you're saying you want it as bad as you want it, your weight shouldn't be going up. So what is it that is blocking you? And then he went and talked about some things with his mom, and she had passed away early in his life and different things. So he doesn't know if he associated, unhappiness, loss with food and things of that nature. So he didn't do a lot of therapy sessions that I could pick up on, but anyway, so it really just, it's an interesting show to watch because, I personally am not, I was a psychology major, so I kind of look at it from a human behavior perspective as well. And just how, the enablers are the ones that get me. Like, that's the thing. I am in the bed. Right? Especially if I can't mobilize myself, right? I'm in the bed. I can't do anything.
Yeah, somebody else got to do it for
me. You are bringing me everything. You are bringing me the dozen donuts. You are bringing me the 4 quarter pounders. You are bringing me all this stuff. You are enabling me.
I wonder how annoying they get, though. Huh? I wonder if they get really annoying. Like, you're not going to get this for me, and then they start banging up against the wall.
The thing is what I've recognized is that, again, from a human behavior perspective, is that there's a lot of guilt that they give to other people. Okay. They are victims. Well, I can't do it. Like, help me. Like, come on. I need and it's like this victimhood, and that makes the people around them. It's almost like they attract to them people who want to help. Yeah. But your helping is hurting. If that's making sense.
That makes sense.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So therefore, I'm just amazed at how it's like, oh, this person has someone in their life who is bringing them all these horrible, terrible things for them to eat. And not from a perspective of, I want to keep them fat. It's from a perspective of, no, I love them and I want to do for them and I'm trying to help them, but you're not, So, I don't know. It's really an interesting show to watch. It's fascinating to me just because of the fact that I, again, try to look at human behavior and say, okay, I see how this person is manipulating the situation and I see how this person is enabling the situation. But it's sad at the same time because this is somebody's life. This is somebody's health. Yeah. And this can take somebody out in their 30s where they really...
Some people are just like, hey, I just lived my best life. This is what I wanted to do.
Yeah, I get it. But is it your best life when you can't even mobily move around? Or like this guy, for example, he was trying to just go work out with a friend of his, and it was just hard for him to get from the car to the spot of where to work out. Yeah, I've seen people and then, he's trying to lift the weights, and he's trying to sit and stand up and sit and stand up, and, all these different things. And it's like that mobility piece of it alone can't have you living your best life, if you're immobile. So, from a perspective of what you're doing to yourself. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So anyway, I will say, though, that it does put in perspective for me, like, okay, well, what excuses do I have? I can go to the gym. I am mobile. I can, do certain things. Yeah. So therefore, no excuses, You gotta take the action and do what you have to do. So when I'm looking at, well, I just ate a whatchamacallit. Forgot about that. But I had a salad for lunch.
Okay, good.
I was being good.
What was on that salad?
Oh, it was just lettuce, tomato, onions, red onions, strips of steak. Okay. And a little bit, because I'm not a big dressing person, a little bit of honey mustard.
I think that's what gets me with salads. Like, I like the dressing.
Yeah, see, and I
don't drench it. I don't drench it or anything. I just I don't want to just taste lettuce by itself. Yeah. I need to have lettuce and a hint of something. I need a dipping sauce.
A dipping sauce, yeah. And that's what I sometimes do. I don't even put it on the salad. I'll just dip my fork.
I tried that one time and I dipped too much and I was like, I'm done.
Yeah, you gotta get the right ratio.
Yeah, and I don't know the ratio.
So I'm trying, definitely. So I'm gonna stay on my course. I'm gonna do what I have to do. I did 3 miles today.
Good.
Yeah, I did 3 miles at the park today. I ate my salad.
You gotta get ready for this half marathon.
I gotta get ready for a half marathon and my birthday. Yeah, I'm just like between the two, I have a lot of work to do.
What is a half marathon? What, 3 months?
13.1.
No, I'm saying how many months from now? 3?
Oh, it's November.
So,
yeah, so now
okay.
it's August, almost end of August.
No.
So yes, I got a little bit of time to get it in, but no, 3 miles right out the gate. I felt good about.
That's
right
good.
now, my
That's
body's
good.
not hurting or anything.
Yeah.
We'll see tomorrow, and then we'll have to see how much I can up it because I really probably need to be at 10 miles before my birthday.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Because then the next month it's.
Yeah, because once October hits, I'm probably going to be partying. So because I partied the whole birthday month. It's not just
just when you do your thing, when you do your what is it, the 13.1 miles, just let me know. I'll follow. I'll pick up your clothes and stuff, different locations.
Throwing things out on the ground.
Just drop a pin in different locations as you're running.
Go here, pick up my sweatshirt. Go here. I had gloves on. It was freezing this morning. Yeah, because November, you never know what the weather's going to be.
I swear that has to be that's probably the best time for different shelters to get stuff for homeless people.
Oh, they do that actually.
Yeah, I know.
One
That's
of the
what I'm saying.
Everything that's left on the side of the road, they take to a
and this
homeless
is
shelter,
this is a marathon that a lot of people do, right?
Yeah, this one is a marathon that can actually qualify people or help to qualify them for like the Boston Marathon, the New York Marathon, and the 10Ks that they do as well. That is a good way that, in those mornings because it's always like March, April time frame where it's cooler in the morning, but then after you get going, you don't need anything on. And then November, one time it was snowing, like light snow. Yeah. Another time it rained. Another time it was just bitter cold. Like you could see your breath in front of your face.
They should make it to where if you were going to sign up for something like any kind of any kind of sport thing, that you should bring in a clothing product. You bring in a t-shirt, you have to bring in underwear, you have to
bring in something.
Because then that's going to keep the people who are homeless, it's going to keep them having, clothes and stuff on. It's going to,
it's a good thought. Good drive. It's like how they have a food drive, have a clothing
maybe
drive.
I'll get with some people. I'm not gonna get with anybody. Okay. I'll tell somebody to get with somebody.
There you go. Tell somebody to get with somebody. But all right, well, back to you, sis. So what do you have next?
What is my 600-pound life on?
Oh, TLC.
TLC.
Okay. 600-pound life. Yeah.
All right. So my last one, it's P-Valley.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I've never watched it, but I've heard.
So first season, I was like, oh, this is some crazy stuff happening. But it's probably stuff that actually really happens. So you have, let me just go down the cast list. So you have Nico Anand, who is Uncle Clifford.
Okay.
Who is fabulous, by the way.
Okay.
I'm like, am I paying now? Because he kind of looked good with his beard and his lashes. And then he got the little highlights and everything. Yeah, I'm like, okay,
I didn't know who that was.
Okay. Thick thighs. And then you got Shannon Thornton, who plays Keyshawn, a.k.a. Miss Mississippi, M.I. Crooked Letter Crooked Letter I. Yeah. Humpback
eye.
Yeah. You have J. Alphonse Nicholson, who plays Lil Murda. A.K.A. LaMarcus, and that's his song, M.I. Crooked Letter I, Crooked Letter I, Humpback I, Mississippi Pride. Actually, you know what? If they have a mixtape for this, like if they have like a playlist, I would listen to it because Lil Murda's music is actually not bad.
Okay.
I don't know who's writing it, but they need to be getting some money. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And then you have Brenda Evans, Brandy Evans, who is Mercedes, and she is the top stripper.
Okay.
She's like up in age. She's like up in stripper age. She's like 30, and apparently that's geriatric.
Oh, okay, makes sense.
Yeah. You have Loretta Devine.
So divine.
And she is playing Miss Ernestine, or grandmother, as Uncle Clifford called it, grandmother.
Okay. Got it.
And so they're in Mississippi, and they are like down in the Delta, and it's weird because it's like a small country place that it reminds me of Fayetteville. I don't know why. Okay. This is what I'm gonna tell you. It's like a small country place that has a strip club that everybody goes to, and everybody stunts at the strip club.
Okay.
So it's like putting like
it's like Scores, where like people talk about that, or someplace in New York or Atlanta or whatever.
Yeah, it's like King of Diamonds on the inside, but you look at the outside, it's like this place is falling apart. And it's entertaining. There's a lot of drama.
Okay, well,
there's a lot of drama, so you might like the drama. You know, you like watching it.
I like watching real drama.
But see, this is the thing. This could actually be like some drama that's happened with strippers. You know, there's one stripper who she had an issue with someone from her past life, and she just up and ran away.
Oh,
and then she came there and stole somebody's identity and became a whole nother person.
Oh, wow, okay. Gotcha.
You have one stripper, Mercedes, and what she did was she got pregnant at 15, had the baby, couldn't raise the baby, so then someone else in her family ended up raising the baby, and like hard life. Then her daughter's like 13 or 14 now, and like, you know, so her daughter's like, why didn't you want me? And she was like, I couldn't. She was like, I was 15 years old when I had you. She said, and secondly, what judge do you think is going to give their daughter to a stripper?
Gotcha.
So you know that I could actually see that happening for someone. You have Uncle Clifford, which with Uncle Clifford, she is trying to keep the pank is what they call it.
Okay.
It's PYNK, but they call it the pank because, you know, we're in the country.
Yeah.
So it's like, we're going to keep the pank doors open.
Oh, they're pink doors.
Yeah, but it's pank.
Okay.
Pank.
I got you.
Because you got to say it like
they say it.
Yeah.
Then
so, so it was actually Miss Ernestine, Loretta Devine's place. It was a juke joint.
Okay.
And then Uncle Clifford turned it into a strip club and was making money like hand over fist. They really don't show anybody at the bar. They talk about the bar. They didn't really show that. So I don't know how much alcohol or whatever is being served in here. But all you see is money everywhere.
Oh,
they got to sweep the money up with a broom.
I love it.
Yeah. They have different DJs. They had one DJ who was like 16 years old.
Oh, wow.
But he was the hottest DJ that was around.
They were like, "What? Do what you gotta do."
DJ Never Scared. But yeah, so some
I
names.
ain't never scared.
Yeah. But then it was like it's the same stuff that happens like in real life. There's shootings that happen, like people are dying. They even have this whole thing where it's like it's a very wealthy family. This white, very wealthy family the father ended up sleeping with this black woman and having a baby, and now his bastard child he still like treats him like his child though. Mm-hmm. Like leaves him stuff like in his will, leaves him money in his will, leaves a house, land, and all this other stuff in his will. But I don't think he ever treated him equal.
Oh,
you know?
okay.
So it's like the storylines are there. Now let me tell you, that was in season 1. Now season 2 is a whole nother thing. Because I had to I had to just stop for one episode and just rewind and be like, did I really just see that?
Okay.
So Mercedes, her mother is now a preacher.
Oh, okay.
Her mother was a hoe. She said, I was a hoe. And I did my hoe things, and she said, and now I'm hoeing for the Lord. What are you talking about?
No.
Yes, okay. I'm snatching souls for Jesus. I'm like, what are you doing? So they have like this little, I guess it's like a little, I don't know. There was just like a little press conference, and this guy who was running for mayor, really nice young guy running for mayor. He's very by the book, very, go by the book. But he basically ended up, like, while he's talking, he ends up being with the stripper and some other stuff happens. But while he's talking to the congregation, the people around him, you know what happens? The preacher pulls up. Okay. And she said, you can call me Mayor Bishop now. How you got Mayor and Bishop and you was just a preacher and a hoe? I don't understand. But she gets up there and she starts twerking on the pole.
Okay.
Now she's sliding around the pole and everybody's like, so that must be where Mercedes got it from.
Okay.
And then she gets a money gun out and she's like, yes, let it rain down the blessings. And I'm like, what are you doing, lady? It's just so
all
much.
over the place.
And like she's at a church event with her little weed pen, smoking weed. I'm just like, bro, like, okay, this is what's happening. It's the season 2 has so much going on. I don't. Hopefully, it's a season 3. If not, I can understand why, because it starts to go a little left. It leaves it open for you to be able to, expect the season 3. But then the thing is, if it doesn't, then really probably wouldn't bother you that much. But yeah, so P-Valley on Stars.
Yeah.
Season 1, great season. Season 2, a little iffy. I did I fast forward through some of it. I mean, no, it's not more hood. It's just it starts to become a soap opera now.
Oh, okay, got it.
And then I don't like that.
Yeah.
It's too soap opera. Yeah, too like telenovela. I don't. That's what I'm not liking. Okay. But yeah, check it out. It's on Stars.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, so I actually am just going to talk about something really brief.
Okay.
And it's Beyonce.
Okay, Beyonce.
And her Renaissance album. I haven't listened to the whole thing, but I am...
Because you won't break my soul.
Yeah, that's what it is. But no, I guess I feel like I'm one of the minority who is not a huge Beyonce
Oh, no, I'm
fan.
not either.
I mean, but a lot of people are. And so I think she's okay. I'm not saying that she's horrible, she's bad or anything. But what I appreciate about this album, because she's always like bringing out an album, out of the blue.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
It causes a lot of,
Yeah, she has a whole hive.
Yeah, she has a hive. So I am not trying to poke the hive.
Yeah.
But what I will say about this album that I like is the LGBTQ
breaking
essence
down.
of
Yeah.
it. Like she literally,
absolutely.
it's like she watched Pose the whole pandemic.
Absolutely.
And was like, okay, I gotta bring the ball culture to my album. You know what I mean?
Because I don't know a gay man in this world who does not love Beyonce.
Right, exactly.
It can be a country farm boy, and I could see him like running through the cornfield singing, "You won't break my soul." I can see
exactly.
Yeah.
So, but I felt like it was great that not only is she having the beats of something that would be very club, very, I don't know, 1980s, New York City gay club vibe and all that
very
kind of
balls,
stuff.
giving me balls.
Giving you the ballroom.
Yeah, the ball, darling.
Yeah, the balls. Giving you the houses.
Yes,
you know
all
what
the
I'm saying?
houses.
Yeah, but I mean, she's got big
She even mentions houses in her
exactly.
songs,
That's what I was going to say in the song. She has the different houses and all of that. And so she has Big Frida on there, which is you won't break my soul. Yeah, exactly. She also even has T.S. Madison. Who T.S. Madison is a transgender person who is has her own show and all that kind of stuff. So T.S. Madison is being sampled in there as well.
So funny.
Kevin Ambiance is somebody who performed in New York and has been a staple in the R&B kind of downtown New York club scene forever. And he's actually in the Pure Honey. Is being sampled in that. Okay. You just have all these different people, and they said she was even inspired by people like Grace Jones and Donna Summer and all of that as well. But yeah, so they have the House of La Beja is one of the houses that they talk about. Yeah, so it's just, I don't know. I'm again not a huge Beyonce fan, but
because that's a lot for you to go ahead and do something like that, where you make a whole album for the people,
for the culture.
one type of people,
one segment of the culture, and for other areas of the culture to also embrace it. And you're just doing it unapologetically because sometimes people are like, whatever. And she did have some blowback in regards to Khalees and her feeling like she was owed some kind of credit for her sampling her song "I Hate You So Much Right Now" or something like that.
I think it was
Milkshake. That's what it was. So she had an issue with her. Monica Lewinsky was like, well, if you're taking things out of songs because of what Khalees said, well, how about you take out some in one of your songs where they said that they Monica Lewinsky your dress or whatever. You know, so all these different things, which she was like, wouldn't it be Bill Clinton my dress instead of Monica Lewinsky my dress? Exactly. But anyway, so I say all that to say I am going to give kudos where kudos are due and say Beyonce, you know, not that she cares what I think, but you know, that it just is great that she is doing something for the LGBTQIA culture.
Now, so here's one thing that I found out, and I actually found this out on TikTok. Okay. In one of her songs, she talks about the so there was a gentleman who made a LGBTQIA plus flag.
Okay.
But it was like the African American one.
Okay.
So it's different colors in it: brown, black, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. Mm-hmm. But then it also has like the transgender stripe in there and stuff like that. So it looks amazing. It kind of reminds me of like a Puerto Rican flag because it has like the V at the top and then it goes into the stripes. And I do love that. But I found out that in one of her songs, she actually like talks about, she breaks down each color of the flag in the song.
Oh, yes. Wow. You know, he is just like, Beyonce.
I know. Right? Yeah, exactly. So I thought that was really awesome that she even did something like that to put, you know, something like that for him out.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's just like how somebody wears an unknown designer's outfit and all of a sudden they become, you know, super duper famous. So her...
I want to go and get a flag now.
Yeah, her stamp that.
I have very little things that are rainbow. I'm not a big rainbow person.
You should be a rainbow person.
No, I don't really like rainbows.
Oh, well.
I'm not a big... to me, it's too many colors together. That's what I just don't like. It's like... I like monotone stuff. Okay. But
that sounds like something that you would stand behind and represent.
Yeah. Okay. But no, I mean, like I don't have a problem with it. It's just like it's I just don't like the flag itself. If the flag was something different, I would rock it all day. I just don't like the look of the flag. But this one, I'm gonna rock it.
Okay. Well, there you go. We have had it, y'all. Yeah. She gonna rock it. And on that note, that is the end of another episode of Sestra-Tainment. Everybody have a wonderful week, and we'll be back next week. Bye.